Hey guys, hope that you guys are doing well. Happy Saturday, Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. I didn't even tell my email list that I was going live today, but hopefully you guys are able to jump on. All right, so today I wanted to talk about some myths, okay, when it comes to fibroids. And some of these myths, honestly, have been told for years, are still being told by medical professionals, unfortunately. And many people have heard them over and over again, and they actually start to believe them, okay? Some of these are myths that I was told for many years, and some of these are myths that, other women repeat to me as well, because like I said, they've been told these myths by their doctors, and it's just, even research has some of these myths. And a lot of these myths are very detrimental, because here's the thing: when you are, when you have fibroids and you are not being told the truth, and you're not being told why they developed, you're not being told, how to get rid of them, or the truth about how to get rid of them, then it kind of puts you in, between a rock and a hard place. It's like you don't really know what to do, and when we don't know what to do, typically we make not the best decisions. Okay, so I really wanted to talk about fibroid myths, and we're going to debunk some of those myths. So if you're watching this and you have fibroids, you definitely want to tune into this. Also share this if you can, because like I said, this is something that 90% of Black women are dealing with currently. So it's really serious. It's no joke. 90% of Black women, not currently, but 90% of Black women will get fibroids before the age of 50, okay? So that is really serious. So I almost every single day I'm getting messages like, with women telling me, I just found out I have fibroids, almost every day. So even if you don't have them now, does not mean if you don't change your ways, you may not get them later, okay? So it's literally something that every Black woman needs to be concerned about, okay? So hopefully, you guys really take this seriously, because fibroids is no joke. So go ahead and share this. Hi, whoever's coming in, share this live, because you never know who on your friends list needs to hear this, okay? Also, I do want to say this: the Detoxify Your Womb program the sale will be over in just 2 days, okay? In just 2 days. So if you're interested in joining us in the Detoxify Your Womb program, which is an amazing program, then just know that the February sale, it was on sale for 5 weeks, but that sale is going to be over literally February 28th at midnight, okay? We have 2 of our clients who've already had amazing testimonials so far. They've only been in it for 3 weeks, and they've been able to decrease their menstrual cycle. They used to deal with 7-day menstrual cycles before coming into the program. Now they're just menstrual cycle that just passed while they were in the program is only 4 days. Was only 4 days, and it was very light. Okay, so that tells you something, right? Their bodies are starting to heal, and their hormones are starting to balance out. Then eventually, of course, that the next part is the fibroid shrinking. So we're actually doing a womb detox right now in the Detoxify Your Womb program. And I'm really excited about that. The first cohort of ladies that came in the first week of February were detoxing. I'm detoxing with them. So I'm going to do 10 days. They're doing 7. So really excited about that, and really proud of them. So, because they were like, they were ready. Okay. So yeah. So if you're trying to detoxify your womb, get rid of cysts, get rid of fibroids, you need to be in the Detoxify Your Womb program. Okay. All right. So ladies, let's talk about fibroid myths, okay? Let's talk about fibroid myths. So number 1 I want to talk about is a myth that you're going to hear, that you probably have heard a lot. And if you guys have any more myths that you guys want me to address, let me know in the comment section. I don't know if Facebook isn't going to allow me to see the comments today, but if you're here, please put a 1 in the chat so I can know that the comment section is working. But yeah, so let's talk about one of the myths. So one of the myths that I hear a lot, and I've also heard women tell me a lot, is doctors will say once your fibroids are removed, they cannot come back. There's actually doctors that are saying this. Hey Nikki, okay, comments are working. Hey Nikki. So there's still doctors that are telling people that once your fibroids are removed, they can't come back, which is ridiculous. And there's people that believe that. They don't know that fibroids can actually come back once you surgically remove them, or once you go under like these other procedures to get them removed. Even if you shrink your fibroids naturally and you go back to your old habits, you can still get fibroids again. Like, these things can develop. As long as you have a womb, your fibroids can reappear. Your fibroids can resurface, okay? So do not ever think that once you remove your fibroids, they cannot come back, because they can come back, okay? No matter if you surgically remove them, no matter if you do UFE or whatever they have out there, or even if you shrink them naturally and you go back to your old ways. I've heard people that's gotten them have done the work to shrink them naturally, and for some reason, maybe some, you know, crazy event happened in their life, or maybe they just, you know, they weren't mentally there, you know what I mean? They weren't really ready to change. They just go back to their old ways, and it happens. It's just like you regaining the weight back that you've lost. You losing 100 pounds and regaining it back, you know, it's the same thing. It will come back if you, like I said, if you don't really let go of some of those toxic habits, okay? So don't ever think that, you know, it's never gonna come back. As long as you have a womb, it can't come back, okay? So, yes, you heard that. You was told, Nikki, you were told that? Yeah, a lot of women were told that. Overall, fibroids are monsters, yes, but they are monsters that we can get rid of. That's the great thing about them, okay? They are monsters. They can really do damage in the body. Another thing is, another myth that you guys have probably heard, I've heard many times, and many women have even repeated it to me, is that you cannot shrink your fibroids naturally, okay? This is definitely a huge myth, because one thing about fibroids is, in case you guys didn't know, fibroids is an accumulation of waste. It's an accumulation of toxins, accumulation of stagnant lymphatic mucus, okay? And they collect together and they form into tumors in and outside the womb, okay? So they're abnormal growths, right, in your womb, or even outside of your womb. Sometimes they grow outside the womb. They can shrink, okay? When your body, you know, goes through anything, when your body, like when you cut yourself, when you break a leg, your body has the ability to heal itself. And the same thing happens with fibroids. But here's the thing with fibroids. If you get in your body's way of trying to heal, it's not going to shrink it and get rid of it. It's not going to do that, you know? Your fibroids developed in your body for a reason. It's because you had an accumulation of waste and toxins in your body. That could have been a result from your diet, you know, the processed foods. That could have been result from your stress. That could have been a result from maybe years of just accumulated waste, and you just never really cleansed out of your body. It could have been many different things. Okay, so when you're dealing with fibroids, yes, they can shrink, but you have to detach from that. You have to detach from your old habits. You have to detach from whether it was toxic, you know, the food that you were the food that you were eating. You have to stop eating that. You have to stop whether it was the thoughts you were thinking, because even having negative thoughts can, like I said, can cause you to get fibroids, because that's, you know, when you're in toxicity, when you just, you know what I mean, just being surrounded by that, whether it was with relationships, friendships, whatever it is, you know, that can cause fibroids to develop. But you have to get out of that. You have to get out of that atmosphere. You have to get out of, you know, stop eating those foods, detach from that old person who got the fibroids, okay? And in order for your fibroids to be able to shrink. And I know this from personal experience, because, you know, I was told many times that you know, by doctors, by people, even when I was doing a lot of research, people were like, you cannot shrink your fibroids naturally. You know, you have to go through surgery to get rid of them. And that is not true, okay? Because I did shrink my fibroids naturally, and I've also helped many women do the same. So don't ever let somebody tell you that you cannot shrink your fibroids naturally. It can be done, but it does take work. It's not easy, okay? And like I said, you have to detach from your old habits, your old bad habits. So whatever happened in your life, whatever occurred in your life, you know, for that made you develop the fibroids, because there's a reason why, and the reason could be different for everybody. For one person, maybe, you know, they just gained a lot of weight and they weren't eating healthy, they weren't taking care of themselves. It could have been for another person. It could have been like a really bad event happened to them, a divorce, and they were just under a lot of stress. It could have been that. So, you know, it could have been maybe you just weren't sleeping, you know, and you were just like on the go, you were on autopilot, and you just, like I said, you weren't taking care of yourself. You know, that, I hear that a lot, right? When it comes to women getting these fibroids or just, you know, cysts, and they're, you know, whenever your body's going through a hormonal imbalance, for most women, that's gonna reflect in their womb first. They're gonna feel that in their womb first. You know, their cycle is going to be off. You know, they're gonna start getting, you know, they're gonna start getting cramps and heavy bleeding and all that stuff, right? These are signs that we have to start recognizing immediately up front, and not just, like I said, let them prolong and go on, because these are the first signs that your body is dealing with a hormonal imbalance, right? And if you let that continue to go on, then that's how fibroids form, that's how ovarian cysts form, that's how eventually, you know, it can even get worse than that, okay? So yes, more to the story is, yes, your fibroids can shrink, but you have to do the work in order to not get in your body's way, right? And allow your fibroids to shrink, and allow your bodies to get rid of it. Your fibroids can not only just shrink, that you can get rid of your fibroids altogether, okay? So just want to let you guys know that, okay, in case you didn't know. There's many women that have done it, including myself, okay? So don't think that your situation is so different that you can't do it. I do want to say this. Another myth that I hear a lot is that your fibroids, this has been told by doctors, unfortunately, and they're still saying that now, your fibroids will shrink after menopause. And this one is a huge myth. I hear this one a lot, and many women have told me that they were told that and their fibroids end up reoccurring before menopause. And here's the thing. Here's how you know this is a myth. There's many women in their 50s, even some 60s, dealing with heavy bleeding and fibroids, right? And that is why there's a large number of women opting to get hysterectomies. And the number one reason that women get hysterectomies before the age of 60, one third of women get hysterectomies before the age of 60, is fibroids, right? A lot of women in their late 40s, 50s who are, you know, during menopause are getting hysterectomies due to fibroids, are still dealing with fibroids. So fibroids do not shrink after menopause. They don't. So I don't know why this lie is still being told. There's many women who have gone through surgery and they've had their fibroids reoccurrence, but they were like, well, my doctor said that it was going to shrink, you know, when I got into menopause. There's even some women who are not doing anything about their fibroids. They're literally just staying there and suffering and waiting till menopause, which is absolutely ridiculous because, like I said, they do not just magically shrink once you hit menopause. That's not how it works. And they're literally dealing with years of suffering, with years of not just suffering, but lowering their own quality of life because, like I said, they just think that they're being told this lie that your fibroids will magically shrink after menopause. And this is, like I said, this is one of these dangerous lies because, you know, if you don't do anything about your fibroids, it can get worse. They get bigger. Not only do they get bigger, but you can start getting other health issues as well because the same things that cause fibroids, also same things that cause things like stroke, you know, heart disease, you know, and many cardiovascular issues and many other issues as well, autoimmune issues, okay? So you will see a lot of women that have fibroids, eventually they develop other health issues as well because, like I said, they have not done the work to get rid of these fibroids, right? Or change their lifestyle, and that's what happens, okay? So that is a myth. And let me just say this, I'm gonna put say one thing. When it comes to Black women, they have the highest rate of postmenopausal fibroids. They even have a lot of women that are developing fibroids after menopause. Not only that the fibroids are not shrinking after menopause, they have women developing fibroids altogether after menopause, okay? So don't ever just say that I'm just gonna wait until menopause until for my fibroids to shrink because more likely they're not gonna do that, okay? If you're not doing the work to shrink them, okay? So that's a myth. Your fibroids are not gonna magically shrink after menopause. I'm so sorry. I know that lie has been told many times, but that is not the case. Another myth that I hear a lot is that you can be healthy and still get fibroids. This is a huge myth. There's many women who say, well, I'm healthy, I just had fibroids, right? Or I'm super healthy, but I still got fibroids. No, that's kind of like saying that I'm really healthy, but I still have cancer. Like that's not, the two can't correlate. Fibroids, again, is accumulation of toxins. So you had toxins, you had hormonal imbalances, you had toxins, you had elevated levels of estrogen in your body, and that's why you develop these fibroids. There is no I am healthy, I just developed fibroids. Fibroids cannot exist in a healthy body, period, okay? A lot of people get upset when I say that, but that's the truth. They cannot exist in a healthy body. It's impossible. So they're developed in your body for a reason, right? Because like I said, the hormonal imbalances, due to accumulation of the waste and toxins and all that stuff, there will be, if it wasn't for that, there wouldn't be any fibroids in your body, period. So it's not just because of your genetics, because that one's been told, no, it's deeper than that. Yes, fibroids can run through your family, but that's because what's going on is people are, like I said, they're, what's really running through your family is the bad habits are running through your family, right? And some people, yes, some of us are more predisposed to fibroids, but at the same time, you could be predisposed to high blood pressure and still not get it because you're living a healthy lifestyle, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So we need to understand that fibroids and healthy, they don't go together, right? So most people are not healthy, unfortunately, right? And this is how I know. 97% of people are not even getting half of the fiber that they need, half the recommended amount of fiber that they need. So that tells you something, right? If we don't have fiber, which is a super nutrient, which literally helps us get rid of the waste and toxins in our body, if we're not even getting enough of that, that tells you that most people are not even eating healthy, right? So let's stop the I don't want to say living in denial, but let's stop trying to like make it seem like, you know, your habits are not connected to your fibroids. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works. And I'm not trying to blame anybody. You know, it's just like, we just don't know. When we don't know, right? So it's not, I'm not saying it's your fault, but at the same time, once you make those changes, you're going to see a difference, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And I'm going pretty fast. If you guys have a question, feel free to ask me. Okay, so another thing is that you should leave your fibroids alone if they're not bothering you. This one is a huge myth. Oh my gosh, I hear this one all the time. And a couple doctors in the past have told me this as well. Told me, okay, especially when I first found out I had fibroids, they were like, well, it's not bothering you, so just leave it alone. That's like the worst advice that you can give somebody, because fibroids do grow, okay? If you're engaging in those same habits that cause them to develop, they will grow. Okay, I've had women tell me that their fibroids have grown from the size of an orange to the size of a watermelon within a couple of years, okay? Fibroids do grow and the symptoms get worse as time goes on. Okay, so to tell somebody that not to do anything about their fibroids and if it's not bothering them is the worst advice ever. Okay, so please don't, if you've heard that advice, please don't take that advice. Please don't believe that, because like I said, if you continue engaging in those same habits, if you're not on a journey of healing yourself, of shrinking your fibroids and getting rid of them, then they will continue to grow. They will grow, okay? So hopefully that myth has been debunked, okay? Because like I said, the same myths are just being repeated and have been repeated for years, and even though there's so much proof that these aren't just myths, okay? Another one is UFE, which is uterine fibroid embolization, is the best treatment option for fibroids, which is a myth, okay? Which is a huge myth. First of all, how UFE works is it's literally, they're literally using like a catheter to put in like plastic in, they're like putting plastic particles in your uterus in order to quote unquote kill your fibroids or starve off the blood supply. And that's very concerning to me, because you putting plastic in your body, putting plastic particles in your body, that in itself can have a lot of repercussions, right? And UFE does come with, like I said, a lot of side effects. First of all, the results don't last, because like I said, if you continue engaging in things that develop the fibroids, they will come back. There's many women that's had them reoccur after UFE. And I will say this, a lot of people don't say this, but this is research has shown this. It can be for women that want to have children after UFE, it can be harder to get pregnant, okay? Because UFE can damage your uterus and your ovaries, okay? You want to do your research on a lot of these procedures, right? Before you just jump to do them. So, trigger warning, after UFE, there's many women that have reported miscarrying, okay? Trigger warning, okay? There's a huge number of women that have reported miscarrying after having UFE, after doing that procedure, okay? So just keep that in mind. I highly do not recommend this procedure at all, or any of these procedures, when it comes to your fibroids, right? Getting rid of your fibroids. I recommend doing it naturally, okay? You don't it may take longer, but it's worth it, right? Because you're at the same time as you are healing your womb, you're healing your entire body, right? You're even healing your bloodline, because as you do the work, you also can pass that on to your daughter. She can pass it on to her daughter, so they won't have to develop these womb health issues that we've had to in this generation deal with, okay? So also after UFE, there's been, like I said, a huge number of women dealing with chronic discharge, okay? And chronic discharge is that, like, if you're dealing with discharge, that shows not only is your progesterone low, that's a clear sign that you have a hormonal imbalance, okay? So we have to, like I said, really study the side effects of these procedures before you just jump into them. Just like I always say, a myomectomy can cause uterine scarring, and a huge number of women have gotten scarring from having that surgery. So we have to do further research before we jump into these procedures, okay? The last one I want to talk about is birth control, being a good option for fibroids. It's the myth that's still going around here. And there's people that's even told me, well, can I still shrink my fibroids if I'm on birth control? And no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Birth control is not a good treatment option for anything. all you're doing is creating a hormone disaster in your body. You're literally creating a hormone disaster in your body, right? The thing about birth control a lot of times is that it's people don't feel, a lot of times when they're on the birth control, they don't feel the symptoms. They don't feel the symptoms of what the birth control is actually doing to their body right then and there, right? But after time, over time, they start to feel it. And that's why a lot of women after birth control, after being on birth control for many years, have gotten things like diabetes and, you know, and cardiovascular issues and insulin resistance. And like a lot of women are dealing with health issues because of the birth control they were on for many years, but people don't put that together. They don't correlate that to the birth control. So you're literally flooding your body with synthetic hormones when you are on birth control. Okay, so it's really important. Birth control is not a good treatment option for anything. Okay, whether it's fibroids, whether it's endometriosis, whether it's cysts, whether it's PCOS, it's just not. Okay, so I really want you guys to understand that, because a lot of women, like I said, are under like I said, that they believe these myths after hearing it for so long, after having your doctor throw birth control as a treatment option at you for so long. They're like, you know, they're almost at a desperate point, so they just like, let me just try it. Okay, so no, birth control will make your fibroids worse. Either it's going to grow your fibroids or just make you develop other health issues more than likely in the future. Because again, you're creating you already have a hormonal imbalance when you're dealing with fibroids, but you're making it 10 times worse when you're flooding your body with synthetic hormones. And then you're overloading your liver and your organs as well. Okay, because they're trying to figure out what am I going to do with all this synthetic hormones. I mean, your body doesn't even recognize that stuff. Okay, so again, you're destroying your health by continuing to take birth control. Okay, so these are myths. Like, guys, ladies, make sure you share this video, because like I said, these are myths that's been repeated for years, and this is what keeps women stuck. And these are the reasons why there's so many women suffering from fibroids, because there's so many myths out there about fibroids, about how to treat fibroids. Even in 2023, still, when fibroids have been around for many years, right? So it's really important that women understand, like, what is not true. And you guys can do your own research on this as well. What is not true? What is a myth? What is true? And the best way to deal with these fibroids, okay? Very, very important, all right? So if you're watching this and you are suffering from fibroids, you're suffering from hormonal imbalances, from heavy bleeding, from infertility, okay, or any issues dealing with the womb, be sure to check out my Detoxify Your Womb program, okay? In this program, what I do is I help women not only get free of fibroids, cysts, hormonal imbalances, but cultivate and create a healthy body, okay? A healthy womb in order for their body to thrive, okay? What we do in the program is my holistic womb detoxification framework, okay? That has helped many women in the past, in my past program, get rid of their fibroids, get rid of their cysts, and not even just shrink their fibroids, actually get rid of them. Yeah, I've had women totally get rid of fibroids, okay? And I've had multiple testimonials of women that have improved their health significantly, okay? So if you're dealing with fibroids, you do not have to deal with them alone. You do not have to continuously, like I said, shift through so many, sift through so many, articles and everything. Because every time people are saying, well, I'm doing this, for my fibroids, I'm doing that for my fibroids. You don't have to continuously throw spaghetti at the wall and try to figure out. No, we're very focused in my program, very focused. It's on a plan, and that's why it works, okay? Because it's a structured plan. It's not just you just all over the place and you don't know what you're doing. No, and it's been extended. Just to let you guys know, the program has been extended to 12 weeks, okay? And that is in order for ladies to have more time to heal their wombs, okay? So that's 3 months. That's a lot of, let me say something, a lot can be done in 3 months when it comes to your healing, okay? And as from my prior experience from working with women, they've been able to, like I said, accomplish many things within 3 months, okay? And when you are coming in and you're focused, so that is where we're at right now. We're actually, again, we're doing womb detoxes in the program. All right, my first cohort of ladies are doing a womb detox right now. So if you're interested, again, the sale's lasting for 2 more days, February 28th at midnight. The sale's over, okay? And it'll be more than double the price, okay? Get in the program right now. We have 16 amazing ladies in there. It's only been open for a couple of weeks. It's about 3 weeks now, and I'm super excited. Okay, so tomorrow we're talking about shrinking fibroids in the program. On our group Zoom, we're talking about shrinking fibroids, and really excited for that conversation. Okay, so if you know you need to shrink your fibroids. If you know you need to get rid of your cysts, then you need to be there, okay? All right, that's pretty much it. Love you guys. If you guys are interested in Detoxify Your Womb program, the link should be in my caption, okay? If it's not, I'll put it in the comment section, all right? So yes, if you guys have a question about the program, my DMs are open, all right? But yes, please share this video. Again, these are fibroid myths. More women need to hear this because there's so many women out there who are suffering from fibroids who don't know, being told so many things that don't know which is true and which is not true, okay? So share this video if you can, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.